you're saying, morality now is, you said, was it's formed in religion and this and that. Their thing could have been founded in something else. You get me? Times change, blood, like things, you get me? So their whole perspective of looking at it could have been something completely different. They might not have been tied into this physical world like that.
But would you not agree, though, Step? In order for a civilization or community to thrive, we must have an agreed upon set structure in terms of morality. Now, they can't be just like arbitrary. They have to have some sort of like real basis. So, like, obviously, I don't take from you, you don't take from me. Like, like the 10 Commandments type stuff, right? But,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If their whole spiritual system's based on the spiritual side and not being in this physical world as much, and then that would be their basis, and that they've all signed up to and they all agree on. So now that whole perspective has got to change.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy for us to say it now, but we don't know what their scope was then, what the parameters were of what they thought, and this, you get what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't even know, like, to the people who are in, like, what we'd say is cities or metropolitan, like, you get me? To the man in the bush on his own, like, how are them their perspectives would vary as well. Yeah. Just like today, like, people, like you were saying earlier, different environments, yeah, and you're gonna have a different set of mindset because you're in a different space. You got different things to deal with.
So then, do you believe that there's an objective morality, or is it just left to us to decide whatever's good or wrong?
Personally, yes, yeah. Like, in my belief, yes, I do. I can answer that question for me, yeah. But if I'm looking at from a collect, I'm one person out of how many billion on the planet, bro? You get me? Why should mine supersede someone else's? But why, at the same time, why should it be inferior to anyone else's? Like, and this is what I'm saying about, I'm not into taking away someone else's experience.
So can I propose to you a scenario to see what you would do? So, for example, let's say you went to this island where, like, it's like tribal people, right? And like every month they sacrifice a human being to the gods, right? What you believe, or I'm assuming you believe that this is kind of bullshit, right?
Like, to me, that don't sit right already.
But it don't sit right. Of course, to me as well, it doesn't sit right. But from what you just said, and let's say they went up to you and asked you, like, yo, what do you think about our culture? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
I'd like to be able to think I'd tell them that it's not possible, that I don't agree with it and this and that, but I'll be honest, depending on the situation and what they're gonna do to me and this and that, I might just bite my tongue, blood, and certain things.
Yeah.
That's me being real. You get me? Yeah. But you get me? Doesn't change that. Just gonna let it go. Not speaking on it doesn't mean I don't know it's not wrong, because within myself, from what I believe, it's wrong. You get me? But it depends.
But you're not gonna stop them from doing what they want to do, right?
Huh?
You're not gonna stop them from doing what they want to do, right?
Bro, it's not about wanting to stop them. It's can I stop them?
But if you could, would you though?
If I could, obviously, like I said, from what I go on, then of course I would.
But then now you're invading their culture.
I go somewhere and all the people there are on something else, blood. Like, the odds are they're gonna overpower me, isn't it? Like, I'd like to think there's a good chance that they're gonna overpower me or whatever.
But now you're changing their culture now because of what you think is right and wrong.
But I ain't gonna be able to do that. You get me? Me thinking that and me wanting to do that, or me even probably trying to do that, it's not gonna change shit. I'll probably be on the next flipping pipe next to the geezer that was you get what I'm saying? On a bigger one with
we only
turned up more and whatever.
We're only gonna do things that guarantee change, right?
Ideally.
Which is like a question now. It's like, do we want to do what's right, or do we want to do what changes stuff?
I think people pick and choose, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the reality of the thing. We pick and choose, and in the moment, you could do one thing. And then in the next day, based on the circumstances and the environment, even down to your emotions or just the timing, certain influences can come in. And you don't have, you get me? It's like you can watch. You got professionals who practice whatever they are, they're dedicated to what they do. They can do something like a man could be a basketball player, shoot a hoop, and say 90 times out of 100, he can make that shot. Yeah. But put him in a final when the pressure's on and whatever, he flops. Does that mean that he's not good at taking a shot? No.
No. But what I'm saying is,
go on.
We don't do the right thing because we think it's going to have no impact, which means that when we have the opportunity to do the right thing, we're choosing not to.
We don't even try.
Making excuses, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, it's not going to change things.
Yeah, I agree.
But maybe it might change things. As in, you're going to be first of a long list of people that put themselves in danger. I wasn't sure whether what they were doing was going to change things, but they had to do something there and then. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like in the UK, like a lot of people ain't going to jump in when they see the authorities taking liberties.
Jed, you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. I fully agree with that.
It's selfish now, right?
Growing up, it was always, at least you can at least try, because at least you've tried. You see the older I'm getting.
Out the way now, isn't it?
You see it now, I'm getting older and older.
Man's like, is it worth it? Like,
there you go. And that's what I'm realizing. Like certain times, and I think it's the age thing, because as you get older, you acquire more, you do more, so you got more to lose. So it's about self-preservation to an extent. And
selfishness.
And it is wrong. It's wrong, but it's right, because end of the day, self-preservation. Come on, man.
If we all think like self-preservation, then the world would be a better place. Right? If we all thought about self-preservation, the world would be a better place. When some of us think about self-preservation, the world is off balance and it's fucked. If we all thought, I'm doing whatever's the best for me, and we all did that, then we'd all, knowing that if I do anything that's going to deprive you, it could end up being an issue for me. I'm going to do what's best for you too. You know what I mean? Yeah. The more you focus on self, the more the benefits affect everyone else. But everyone's got to be on it. And the problem is there's people that's not on it. There's people that's not on it, man. Yeah. If you said, you know what, fuck this, what? You see what they're doing to them youths? I don't care. I'm not having that. Not on my watch. And you go down there and challenge the forces and the forces shoot you. Some would count that as a loss and some would count that as a victory. It could be a victory because you've now inspired 2 more men to go down there. Yeah? And they could get shot. Someone else is going to see that as a loss. Now we've lost 3 men. But I can see it from the point of view of now them powers that be know to expect that we ain't just going to have it. And even if we all die, it's like the slave ship analogy. What's the best thing? Getting taken to a new land to work and be enslaved, or to jump off rush the captain and jump off the edge, or jump off the boat, or get thrown off. What's the best for the future? Yeah, is it riding out and dying there on the ship? What do we call that? We call that living on our feet rather than dying on our knees, right? We always use these type of analogies, but do we really mean it? Do we really mean it? Because it means that you could just be the first step. You could just be a Step Nicely. Oh yeah, R.I.P. Step Nicely, man. I was a good brother, man. Yeah. When them army people came around, he stood in front of all the kids and said, "No, I'm not having it," and they killed him. And now we got to name a street after him. 50 years later, now we finally got independence. We finally got them forces out there. We're going to name this building after him. Is that a victory? Is that an L? I don't know.
But normally they detect the whole Step Nicety and incorporate it into the system again.
Yeah. It's true. Step Nicely Day. Yeah. Step Nicely Boulevard. And then it's just a commercial thing. But yeah, it's like, it's about being, I suppose, to borrow from Tupac's words, it's about being the spark. It's about being the spark or the spark of the consciousness that changes the world, and you not necessarily being the one that changes the world, but being an example of what we should be. I don't know, man. I feel like wild animals and that, they just don't have shit. They just don't have it. They fight to the death and they usually die. And we kind of see that as a weakness. But I'm thinking it might be a strength because your enemy always knows, all right, yeah, we're going in to kill this. We're going in to kill these lot. There's not going to be any of this enslaving and controlling and that. No, these lot are way too wild. We got to kill them. Because they ain't going to have it.
That's one thing they always seem to be scared of is making martyrs as well still. Like when you really check it.
The right martyrs, yeah.
Yeah.
So all the martyrs we get, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of psychology involved in what it means to be human. And I think once we get past the psychology and we deal with the instincts, then we should be untamable. A human being should be untamable. But we can get convinced that it's in our best interest to hold it down. Like someone once said, when I said the slave analogy thing, someone said to me, okay, so you're going to be the slave that gets dashed overboard and rare. I'd rather be the one that makes it to the other side and gets to plot and plan and strategize and find a better way to get out of this. I want to be the one that's there for the kids. Well, you're in the bottom of the ocean. I've made it to the other side with the kids and I'm looking out for them, giving them good advice. I don't know.
Yeah, but even then, they're probably still telling the story of you, though, innit? Get me?
Well,
And that'll be the story of you that goes into one of those kids that made it to the other
right.
side.
That's the old, and that's the thing. That's the old warrior thing, isn't it? Like, this is why, you know, you want to die as a warrior, die on the battlefield. All your ancestors know, regardless of what they say, stupid, funny, smart, smelly, whatever you are, you're going to die on your principles and you're going to die for freedom. And you'd rather be dead than a slave. Like, you're not enslaving me. And I think the thing that's stopping us is wanting to live forever, man.
Yeah.
We want to live forever. Because we got no confidence in life after death. We got no confidence in the hereafter. We got no confidence in God. Because if we did, what are we trying to hold on for?
Exactly.
Let's go, man. What? You're trying to enslave our women and our kids? Nah. Final stand. And then someone says, well, if you all die, who's gonna be there for the kids and the women when you are all dead? And someone says, you know what? That's a good point, you know. That's a good point.
No one wants to die naturally though, right? Like there's this like internal like instinct to want to live and not want to die. Right?
I don't know how natural it is. I don't know how natural it is, cuz it's very much a listen. I think that all depends on what you think dying is and what you think life is. Yeah. If you're from a warrior tribe and you think that the only honor is in dying on the battlefield or dying for what you believe in, that's the only honor. Dying in your sleep is embarrassing. Yeah? Dying of syphilis or some other shit, it's embarrassing. It's a shame on your family. Swear to God, there's cultures that was thinking that.
Nah, for real. The Vikings. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a shame on your family. If you ain't dying with a sword in your fucking hand, then what were you?
Yeah.
And I think when you know there's a tribe of people that think like that, your ideas about enslaving them is going to be very different, right? It's just going to be no trickery, no this, that, no rare. There's going to be no psychology you're using on these man. Unless the only way you could do that is convince them that death is a I don't know, it's a bad choice, it's a bad thing.
But even when you look at it biologically, the body regenerates. To me, that indicates that formerly we were meant to, if not live for forever, maybe for a longer period of time. The body regenerates. Like it doesn't want to die.
Does anything not regenerate? What doesn't regenerate? What's the word? Biological? Yeah, what biological Nah, that's not the word that I want.
Because it's the rate of growth versus the rate of decay, right? That leads to.
Okay, is there anything that is not growing that's alive?
No.
Okay. Seems to be like the nature of existence to what's the word I'm looking for? Is it biological? It is biological, right? I'm just talking about things that are alive. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that
Isn't
are,
it they say that
alive.
even like when someone dies, even when someone dies, the heart still beats or something like that, or something's still working in the brain or something? When they say that, isn't it?
I don't know. I know that your hair keeps growing, your nails keep growing.
Is that not a bit strange though, fam? It's like
No,
Did you say it's your heart that gives out, isn't it?
It's not fucking strange.
the body's still alive, bro.
No, the body's not alive. The hair is still growing, and the nails are still growing. That's not the body's not alive.
That's not alive. No, it's
not
just
alive.
a process.
Everything should stop.
Exactly, even there's a process, and it's gonna stop after a certain point. It's like
once the minerals and all that they're growing off. Yeah.
Oh look, I've plugged this phone out of the wall. I've not charged this phone all day, and look, it's still going. Oh, that just proves that it's alive. It's like, no, actually, you charged that battery, and once the last bit of charge comes out of that battery, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead. It's not evidence that you don't need a charger. It's evidence that you've been charged up. So yeah, your hair and your nails have been charged up by your life force. And once that dissipates, that process will stop. That's it.
Yeah, you have no feeling in your nails and your hair anyway.
So the life force, so you're saying the life force residue still there after death?
No. I'm saying the chemical chain of events that was triggered off. That was the chemical process is continuing and will end once it gets no more stimulus, no more fuel, no more. The process is already it's already happening before you were killed or before you died.